Life can bring us storms. Those moments where we wander, wonder, doubt. The journey doesn't stop, but the progress does. It can be lonely, painful. Sometimes we try to stare it down, as if we could somehow will it to go away. Or we think we can go toe to toe and come out the other side, unscathed. We often forget just how small we are. The truth is, storms are inevitable. But when they appear, we have a protector, a savior who knows a thing or two about calming storms, a God who is a stronghold in times of trouble. In our weakness, He is strong. In our fear, He is courage. In our desperation, He is peace. Yes, storms are inevitable, but our God is invincible.
Good morning, everyone. This is 100 Days of Purpose, and I am in the lovely city of Burlingame. Had a wonderful retreat last week in LA, and then I came up to Burlingame, and we had what we call a debriefing, and it was great. All the speakers that had been involved in the retreat that I was involved in, we all met and kind of poured back into one another, prayed for one another, talked about our next steps. It was something unique that I've never been involved in before, and it was great because what we don't realize, and I'm going to get to my topic in just a minute, what we don't realize is that when we are always pouring out, we don't realize how much we're pouring out. It's like a faucet. Once you turn me on, the water just keeps coming, right? And as long as I know that I'm tapped into the source of where the water is coming from, the faucet or the conduit is always going to pour out what is flowing through it. And it's never going to take in. And so having that opportunity to sit and have someone speak life back into me and to reconnect me tighter with the source was just beautiful. And then I've been out here doing some other personal things, and God is really blessing and really showing me the possibilities and the opportunities that are yet for me to unwrap and unbox and allow to happen in my life. And this morning I watched two videos that kind of tie into what I'm going to talk about. The first one is MJ. I can't remember his last name, first name Malcolm, but he comes on and he's inspirational, and I just love him, her, whatever he calls, however he addresses himself. And I'm not saying that disrespectful. I'm saying that with all respect. I just haven't really seen anything where he identifies himself. And so I will call him a him until otherwise. But he was talking about jealousy and how when people see that you are on the come up, people see that you are making things happen, you're taking strides, they tend to be like, well, it don't take all of that. What's she doing now? And I've talked about it a little bit here. But it became, I guess, more real to me because recently I got a word prophet prophesied into my life and said that God is going to redeem my name. And people that know me know that I haven't always been the friendliest or the happiest or the go-to chick all the time. I think I've always been the go-to chick, but it's kind of like you go to her at your own peril kind of thing. And so there's been a lot of things that God had to heal me and restore me and redeem me from and get me to see things in a different way. Um, and when those things started happening, more and more people started saying, well, who does she think she is? And why is she doing this? And I remember this and I remember that. And Linda, you talking about Linda. Yeah. And so I get the whole jealousy thing. And jealousy is a very cruel, it's a very cruel thing, right? For someone to be jealous, the Bible says it's as deadly as the grave, right? And there's a difference between someone who envies someone and someone who is jealous of someone. I believe that there's a fine line, but there is a difference. And envy is almost kind of admiration, right? You see somebody doing something and you're like, man, I can't believe they're doing that, right? And it's not really, I hate them and want to see them dead because they're doing it. Like jealousy, it's more, man, it kind of shows me what could be possible if I put my mind to it. Um, and then too, we know people's backgrounds, and so we're like, I can't believe she's doing that, but man, the possibility of it happening in the, and so that's the way I look at envy. Both of them are bad in their own right. They're both something you don't want to find yourself in. And then the second video that I saw was from Trent Shelton. And I love Trent. I think we brothers and sisters from another mister. Um, but he was talking today about what if, and if you know his story, he was involved in NFL and things fell apart, and he was like, what if I would have just thrown in the towel and didn't try? And I think about that all the time because my topic today is purpose finds a way. And if purpose is going to find a way, there are going to be people that are going to be jealous of you. There are going to be people that are going to be envious of you. There are going to be people around you that have thrown in the towel and thus think you should throw in the towel because you've had a bad day, because things didn't go your way, or, and I look at that and I remember before I got a yes, I had to get a lot of no's. Before I was able to start my ministry, start my church in San Francisco, there was a lot of no's. There was even, well, why don't you go and help this one? And why don't you go help that one? And there was a lot of discouragement that came my way. And I'm not going to say that it was good or bad discouragement. It was just, maybe you're not the one, maybe you're not the called, maybe you're not the chosen. So can you? And I even think at one point, even God was saying, can you still go and support somebody else, even though you know it's meant for you? And I was willing to do that. And I was willing to do that and not be jealous or envious or, stride or try to undermine them, or, I was going to help them to the best of my ability to grow whatever vision God gave them. And I believe that many of us take time out of our lives to spend it on frivolous things that don't get us from point A to point B. They just kind of sit there and keep us stagnant and keep us where we are. And we continue to make the choice to stay there because we continue to operate in a jealous spirit and an envious spirit. in a throw in the towel. And purpose is around us saying, look, if you give me an opportunity, I'll bust out this wall. If you give me an opportunity, I'll open this door. If you give me an opportunity, if you just trust the process a little bit more, I will give you more of what you're looking for. It may not come in the time frame that you're looking at it to come. And I think that's the key that we have to look at, is that everything has its time frame, but it may not be what we think the time frame is. And then I look back and I say, well, you know what? If I had started a church when I wanted to start a church, it would have been some helter skelter stuff going on. Because I wasn't quite right, right? I still had some stuff that I needed to work out. I still had some emotions and some healing to do. And I would have been bleeding all over the people. I would have hurt God's people, and God would have had to deal with me about his people because they're his, they're not mine. People that become a member of New Life, they don't belong to me, they belong to God. I'm just the steward that he's entrusted with their soul. And so, no, I don't get to treat them any old way. I don't get to do whatever I want to do. I don't get to teach whatever I want to teach. I don't get to act in ways that would be unseemly and uncomely. And I had to learn that. And so God's timing wasn't my timing, but it was perfect timing. Some people say, well, you're starting a church and you're kind of old in age and this, that, and the other. No, I'm the right age that God needed me to be. Purpose finds a way. It finds a way. Life finds a way. And if you truly believe that you are living in purpose, that you're walking in purpose, that you're doing purpose, that you're living strategically, intentionally, and you're doing it with great determination, with great focus, you will find that purpose will open doors you never thought would open. Purpose will make ways out of you. You see a brick wall and purpose like, that's a sliding door. You see a house with no windows and purpose says, check this window out. Check this window out. Purpose finds a way. It finds a way because it has to occur. It has to occur. It can't be dormant. So you are walking around saying, I don't want to do this and I don't want to do that and this, that, and the other. And purpose is like, I got to get her in a situation. And this is the important part. I want you to catch this. Purpose is like, I got to put her in the situation. I got to put him in the situation where they come to the realization that, wait a minute, I can't keep living like this. I need to find one. And so purpose will usher you into circumstances and situations that awaken you. And you want to curse the situation and you want to be like, oh my God, I can't believe this happened to me. But purpose is like, it had to happen because if I didn't do something, you would continue down this road, and this road is not the road you're supposed to be on. So I had to build a house in the middle of your road, so you would have to do an about face. I had to wreck this situation. I had to take away that car. I had to take away that job because you're thinking too low. I want you to be a business owner and you thinking about working for somebody else and getting a promotion. I want you to drive Lexus and you trying to drive a Pinto. I want you to uh, buy a house and you trying to rent a condo. So I had to turn you down. I had every place you applied for, they had to find a reason not to rent to you so you can come up with the idea, well, maybe I should buy something. But it was the purpose all along. Maybe, I keep buying these hoopties. Maybe I need to just invest in a real good car. And you end up buying the Lexus or whatever car it is, the Mercedes, the Benz, the Beamer, the Range Rover, whatever car it is. Maybe you go from relationship to relationship to relationship, and these people treat you poorly until one day you decide, you know what, I'm just going to go this way. And you start dating the right type of men, the right type of women for your purpose. And then all of a sudden, things start to fall into place. Why? Because purpose finds a way. It knows how to get you to the point where you are making the decisions you need to make so it can accomplish what it needs to accomplish. It finds a way. Purpose finds a way. So you're thinking it's misfortune and purpose is low. No, it's direction. It was pushing you in the right direction so you can do the right things at the right moment and you wouldn't miss out on what it is that I'm trying to get to you. And you can develop character. Purpose finds a way. So I need you to look at situations in your life and see if it was purpose directing you in a different direction or if it really was a hindrance, a blockage. Because either way, it's purpose directing you. It's either directing you to something or directing you from something. And your homework, after you've reflected on the journey, your homework is write about a time that you really wanted to do something. And it seemed like you didn't have the resources or you didn't have the power or you didn't have the know-how, you didn't know how to get it started or when to get it started. You just really said, you know what, I really need to get this thing done. And you did it. All odds were against you, but you made it happen. How did that feel? How did it feel when you burst through that impossible situation? How did it feel when somebody told you you couldn't do? You did not only did it, but you excelled at it. How did it make you feel? Not what it made you think about the other person. How did it make you feel? And then I want you to come back and share it with me. Because if you're truly going to be a person of purpose, you got to have strategy on your side. You got to have intention on your side. And you got to understand why you're strategizing, why you're being intentional, why you have to be determined to do it on purpose. I'm Coach Linda. This is 100 Days of Purpose. I want you to have a blessed day. I want you to have a prosperous day. I want you to have a day where you thrive. I want you to do and be everything you're supposed to do and be today. Be the best version of yourself. Don't tell yourself you can't do it, because purpose finds a way. It finds a way. And if you let it, it will find a way for you. I'm Coach Linda, and as I always say, da na 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 na. What is? I'm out.